Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where this video finds you. Welcome to Raw Dogs Radio. We talk about the Browns. I'm not the home. Too many channels aren't shining me there, but occasionally I come on here, talk about the Browns because I live and die, but they're not my life. How about that? Does that make any sense? So anyway, all right. So I smoke hip hop live. How you doing there, brother? Watch the channel. He was talking about Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Simp Mangina Hunter. For those of you that know. As far as who would be the number 1 and 2, and how they were ranking Shedeur pretty low in the draft. Well, really, it's about if as far as the order would fall, it depends on who would actually trade up to get him. So, in all honesty, as you look at the draft here, Tennessee is not going for a quarterback. All right, they have Tennessee has a lot of holes to fill. So more than likely, Tennessee will trade out of this number 1 pick. It'll probably be either with the Raiders. Okay, it'll either be with the Raiders or the Jets because they desperately need a quarterback. All right, everybody else is pretty set. Oh, it's the Giants, they're third. I mean, it's not really much of a swap that they would do there. The Giants, they have an idiot of a GM. I mean, come on, how the hell are you going to trade Saquon Barkley or let him go to a team within the division? I mean, unlike the Jets, the Giants, the GM son there, at least he's intelligent. You're like, are you kidding me? So at any rate, yeah, I'm surprised they kept their GM. I mean, I understand keeping Brian Daboll. You didn't give him a quarterback, but the GM, he is trash. Just like with Cleveland, I would switch GMs. I would get Douglas. Harry Douglas? The guy that was fired from the Jets, because if you look at their roster, they have a lot of talent, but you understand why they failed the way that they failed. I mean, you got an 17, 18-year-old calling the shots. That is so stupid. At any rate, so I could see the Tennessee Titans maybe trading down, maybe with the Raiders or possibly the Jets, whichever one can offer them the most draft capital. All right, whichever one can offer them the most draft capital that will help them get up to get a quarterback, and be it Travis Hunter or be it I know quarterback, but Travis Hunter, he's a Heisman Trophy. People, the NFL is just weird like that. So, be it whatever quarterback that it may be it Shedeur Sanders or Cameron Ward, more than likely, I can see the Jets going for either one of those. The Vegas, as far as the Raiders, they definitely want Shedeur Sanders. I mean, that's pretty much where he wants to go. All right. So, whichever one of these teams is stupid enough to mortgage their future to the Titans for that number 1 pick, Cleveland more than likely would trade down, in all honesty, because I don't see them wanting Sanders or Ward. All right, I don't see them wanting either one of those. I really see them going after what is this kid's name? Carson Beck. I really see the Browns going after Carson Beck. And if you trade down, maybe with either one of these teams, whoever is the consolation prize that doesn't get the number 1 pick with the Titans, I can see them trading down to get possibly either the Raiders or the Jets second, not just this slot, but their second and third round pick. All right, I can see them doing that because, of course, the Giants, they need a quarterback, but I see them sitting tight. Maybe they might trade with Cleveland to get for that pick, because Cleveland does need assets. They definitely need assets. So I can see them trading with Cleveland, trading with the Giants, possibly getting Shedeur Sanders. Okay. Or maybe Cameron Ward. I can see that happening. These are two teams, the Giants, of course, the Browns, but the Giants, the Raiders and the Jets most definitely, thirstily need quarterback. So if Cleveland trades down with the Giants for their second and third round pick, because I wouldn't budge for anything less. I wouldn't budge for anything less. Then you can go ahead and get Carson Beck. He's more suited towards Cleveland's offense, not Shedeur Sanders and definitely not Cameron Ward. Cameron Ward, I do not want a quarterback that quits on his team after he sets a record. That is so stupid. That is so stupid. And definitely not Shedeur Sanders. And the reason for that, the reason why I say no on Shedeur Sanders is just common sense. You say watch the games. Well, I actually watched the games for the past 3 years, and the biggest thing that I see the Shedeur, the flaws in his game is, number one, he holds onto the ball too long. Number two, he cannot outrun defensive tackles, college grade defensive tackles, guys who are going to be driving beer trucks when they graduate. That's ridiculous. Hold on to the ball too long. You can't outrun the line. You can't outrun guys that me at 53 years old, I'm faster than. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. This is the NFL. It's the NFL. If you can't outrun those guys, you better be a power running team. You better be a power running team. So go ahead. He can go. Also, because us as Browns fans, the main reason why a lot of us has passed on him and don't want him here is because of the Deion Sanders baggage. Instead of him being happy that his son is going to be within the top 5 picks, he's trying to pull a Manning situation where, well, I don't want my son to go here. I don't want my son to go there. Like, it's not about where you want your kid to go. It's about where he's needed. And if he's a great player, nobody can ruin his career. The only thing that can ruin a great player's career is either bad coaching or an injury. But if you can play, you can play. Flat out. If you can play, you can play. Flat out. Flat out. Especially at quarterback. You should be able to be transcendent enough to overcome a team's flaws. I mean, just look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady, prime example. Bill Belichick cannot succeed without Tom Brady. He did okay in his years with Cleveland with Vinny Testaverde, all right, because the offense was simple. Play action pass, run the football. But with Brady, it was all about passing. You have to have the quarterback. Bill Belichick didn't touch the offense. So, miss me with all that. But no, Shedeur Sanders is not a he's not a transitional quarterback like that. Neither is Cameron Ward. You need to have steady coaching. You need to have a running game. You need to have an offensive line and a solid defense in order to succeed, especially in today's league. I mean, come on, look at what happened with the Jets. That's ridiculous. Look what's going on with the Texans. Lamar Jackson would not be Lamar Jackson, who is, of course, a transitional player. He's an amazing player. That dude is going to the Hall of Fame. But he has a defense to back him up. He's got the offensive talent to back him up. He will will his way to victory. As much as what is that? The guy's name, the weirdo that dresses funny, Cam Newton. As much of a talent Cam Newton was, he only had a couple of good seasons in Carolina. Like, yeah, you have an amazing talent, but you're not a franchise lifter. Shedeur Sanders and Cameron Ward, they're not franchise lifters. So you need coaching. You need coaching. Personally, I think he would be better off. In all honesty, I think Shedeur Sanders would be better off in New York. At least you have an offensive-minded head coach there. All right? You've got a good offensive line. Maybe you can make something work. Him going to the Raiders, The only reason why he would go to the Raiders is because they're looking to sell tickets. It's a vanity team for him. But if that's where he wants to go, nobody's stopping him. All right. I would rather see Cameron Ward. I think Cameron Ward would probably be nice and comfy wasting his time and his talents with the Jets. I think he'd be nice and comfortable wasting his time with the Jets. Although he probably do better off in Seattle, or maybe even Pittsburgh. But, these teams, they've made up their mind. So there it is. But yeah, I definitely think Cameron Ward, he'd be better off in Cleveland. Flat out. As far as Travis Hunter playing wide receiver, cornerback, he's, in all honesty, let's be honest, he's a gimmick player. I could see him maybe having more success in Carolina, where they could use somebody like that, or maybe even like San Francisco. Okay, Carolina or San Francisco, possibly San Francisco. But him going to the Giants, they got him ranked. The mock draft, they got him going to the Giants for what? For what? That would not work. That would not work at all. Tennessee, it definitely wouldn't work for him going to Tennessee. So there's where you have it there. But I definitely think that, in all honesty, for Shedeur Sanders, his best fit would be the Giants. His best fit, and all the teams that's out there that desperately need a quarterback, the Giants would be best for him. At least he would have a young star wide receiver, all right, that catches everything. You've got a young running back. You've got a good offensive line. You've got a good defense. And you got a good head coach in Brian Daboll who holds his players accountable. So he would definitely be better off in New York. Definitely be better off in New York. Not the Raiders. And definitely not the Jets. If I was the Jets players, I would be looking to get the hell up out of there. Especially after learning that your GM and your head coach was fired because an 18-year-old kid made that decision. Get the hell out of here. That is ridiculous. That is pathetic. But since I'm the Browns guy and we're talking about the Browns, good Lord. When you really look at it, really look at it, if you trade with, let's say you trade with the Giants, I think Carson Beck is worth the 3rd round pick? Yes. Do I think he's worth the top 10 pick? Yes, especially when you're starved for a quarterback like the Browns are. You've got the number 1 2nd round pick, but if you switch with the Giants and you take their 2nd and 3rd round pick with your 1st, 2nd round pick, you desperately know you need. These are your needs: left tackle, left guard, running back, all right, quarterback, okay, possibly a right guard, a left defensive end, and you're definitely going to need to remake your secondary. But if you switch with the Giants and you take Carson Beck 3rd overall, or you switch with the Raiders or Jacksonville, and you get, either way, you get your quarterback. Let's say you switch with the Giants, okay? So, and you get their 2nd, 3rd, and maybe their 5th. So, but let's go 2nd and 3rd. So, with this pick right here, you get your left tackle, and then with the 34th pick overall, because you're already going to get your quarterback, you get your left tackle. Then you get with the next pick after that, you get your running back. You desperately need a running back. So you get your quarterback, left tackle, running back. And then in the 3rd round, starting with the 3rd round, you get your left guard and say goodbye to Joe Bitonio. You get your left guard, and then here you get your left defensive end. All right. You get your left defensive. You get your left defensive end in the third round, two top third, and then later on, from the pick from the trade with Buffalo, this is where you get your right guard, your future right guard. Okay, and then from there, in your fourth round, all right, this is when you start working on your defense, because you need a new linebacker, because JOK more than likely is not coming back. He suffered that neck injury. There hasn't been any word on it. They're very mum on that. He keeps looking for a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth opinions. Fourth round, you work on your defense. You get your linebacker. Then you come over here. You get you another linebacker. All right. And then, of course, in the sixth round, you've got 3 picks in the second round. All right. Maybe you work on your depth. Work on your depth at wide receiver. You try to find some gems. If you can't find anybody in free agency, which the free agent class looks like trash. But in the sixth round, you got 3 picks in the sixth round. Well, actually, you have what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 picks in the sixth round. If you can package these 4 picks and try to get back up in the fourth round, say maybe trade with, let's say, the Rams or the Broncos, maybe even Tampa Bay, Green Bay. You need somebody that desperately outside of your division, maybe even Detroit. Try to move up into the fourth round to get a wide, even possibly the third round. Try to get you a wide receiver. Because outside of that, you are dead in the water. But yeah, that's why, Shedeur Sanders, he's not really ranked as high as people expect him to be, simply because of the teams who are in the draft order who probably won't be able to get him, who might look at the free agency market. Like prime example, like Tennessee, apparently they're not looking for a quarterback, so they're going to stick with what they got. The Giants, more than likely, because do understand Sam Darnold is going to be a free agent. So the Vikings are going to franchise tag him. And depending on what they think of, JJ McCarthy, they might be looking to move either one of them. So McCarthy or Donald will be available, and he might go, either one of them might go to the Giants, either one of them might go to the Raiders. I know for sure that Darnold is not going back to the Jets. And if you're a player of any type of common sense, you don't want to play for the Jets. All right. New Orleans is going to sit pat with what they got on their roster because they're in salary cap hell. Chicago doesn't need a quarterback, neither does San Francisco, Dallas, Miami, the Colts. The Colts might, I don't know. I mean, they might give Anthony Richardson another year, but that dude is the Black Tim Tebow. Atlanta's fine. Arizona's fine. Cincinnati's fine. Seattle is fine. They'll probably re-sign Geno Smith. Houston's fine. Denver's fine. Tampa Bay is fine. Pittsburgh is fine. What is that guy's name? Oh my God. Justin Fields, he's not leaving. He said it himself. He's not leaving. He's learned more in Pittsburgh than he did in Chicago. So he's going to stay put. Russell Wilson will be 36. And there's no telling if Pittsburgh will keep him, depending on what type of money that he wants on that 1-year deal. So he might play a year or two in Pittsburgh. It's fine. So Pittsburgh's not looking for a quarterback. The Rams, they might be looking for a quarterback, but we'll see what goes on there. Green Bay is fine. The Chargers are fine. Washington is definitely fine. Baltimore is fine. Minnesota, of course, either way they go, they feel that they're fine. Buffalo's fine. Philadelphia is fine. Kansas City is fine. And Detroit is fine. So either way, it's either going to be The Giants, the Raiders, the Jets that are going to be, or Cleveland, that are looking for one of the either a free agent quarterback, be it Sam Darnold, or they might trade for McCarthy. That's why their rankings are so low. There's no telling which one of these teams might take a chance on him. Okay, might take a chance on either him or Cameron Ward. All right, there's no telling. We'll see what free agency brings. We'll see what free agency brings, but more than likely, I mean, hell, he might fall all the way down to the Rams, or the Rams might trade up to try to get him. It's really going to be a fight depending on where Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy lands. That's what you're really looking at. Wherever one of those two lands, all right, wherever they land, you're looking at what? You're looking at two teams, possibly three, that are going to be fighting for a rookie quarterback. It's not going to be, plus it's not a strong draft for quarterbacks at that. It's probably what, maybe 3.5 with the kid out of Alabama, Jalen Milroe. I mean, you know, that dude is average at best. It's going to be pretty tight. It's going to be pretty freaking tight. Pretty freaking tight as far as rookie quarterbacks. But yeah, if I was the Browns, I'd definitely be looking at the kid out of Georgia. I'd definitely be looking at the kid out of Georgia and let everybody else try to fight me and ready to give up the house for Shedeur or Cameron Ward or both. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, my brother. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get out of here. Peace. I'm not Captain Saberhole. No, real no. I'm not Captain Saberhole. Yeah, no. Look, I'm not like this in the slightest. I'm attracted to intelligent chicks that think righteous.